Here's an update on various protests in Canada today. We start in Winnipeg, where 4 protesters were struck by a vehicle last night. Just after 9 p.m., a white SUV struck 4 protesters, 3 treated at the scene and 1 taken to hospital. In the video, you can see protesters running after the vehicle. A photo circulating online shows a man dressed in a yellow snowsuit laying on the ground with his leg partially underneath the vehicle's front left tire. At a press conference earlier today, Winnipeg police announced a 42-year-old male from Headingley faces charges of assault with a weapon ×4, dangerous operation of a conveyance causing bodily harm ×2, dangerous operation of a conveyance, failure to stop after an accident knowing that they were driving with a reckless manner ×2, and failure to stop at the scene of an accident ×2. The 42-year-old's name has not yet been released. Meanwhile, in Quebec City, a man in a chicken costume holds a sign saying Je suis Justin. In English, I am Justin. Hundreds, if not thousands, of protesters are gathered on the streets in Quebec City, along with a fairly visible police presence. Protests in Quebec got underway within the last couple of days, and the premier there has vowed to keep them from becoming long-term, like the protest in Ottawa has become. Police said on Friday that 40 tickets had been handed out during the protests in Quebec City. This is the scene in Toronto, outside a major hospital. A large protest there has broken out. However, it's not the Freedom Convoy holding the protest. Instead, these protesters appear to be doctors and nurses and those supporting healthcare workers. Some carried signs against the actions of truckers. In Ottawa last night, a dance party continued in full force with hundreds of people in attendance. That despite news that GoFundMe will hold $9 million that had been donated to the protesters. Those who donated with GoFundMe have until February 19th to request a refund. A new funding tool has been set up at GiveSendGo. Well over $1 million has been raised on the new platform. Farmers are also lining the streets in Ottawa as part of demonstrations today. Last night, protesters in Ottawa were in the process of setting up bouncy castles to entertain children during the demonstrations today. The Freedom Convoy there also continues to stockpile supplies, including shovels, salt, and fuel. Observers have noticed the participants have been collecting garbage and clearing snow as needed. In Alberta, hundreds of people on horseback joined the protest near the Canadian-U.S. border. That's the border crossing that's seen protests for a week, demanding an end to vaccine passports. It certainly isn't just people on horseback in Alberta today. The new protesters joined numerous vehicles as they rode down the highway. In BC, police stood between Freedom Convoy protesters and anti-protesters there to oppose the movement. The anti-protesters were able to keep the trucks and vehicles from where they had wanted to go. Police stood between. In Manitoba, signs have been put up congratulating MLA Josh Gunter for his courage. That after Gunter removed from cabinet for appearing at a Freedom rally in Manitoba. We leave you now with a scene from the Freedom rally last night in Winnipeg, this near the Manitoba Legislative Building on Broadway Street. This is the same protest where 4 people were struck.